Okay, guys. Now, staying on a vegan diet is bloody hard. You know, a lot of the time, if you don't live in a sort of trendy area, there's not going to be a lot of vegan options. So you got to do a lot of, shopping and shit like that. And it's expensive. So today I'm going to give you a few tips on just how to sort of, get through it and keep it cheaper for yourself and make sure your fruit and vegetables last as long as possible. Once again, I get home, I'll just, won't just sort of leave stuff around, I'll get straight into it. I'd recommend getting one of these, so you can utilise this for everything, pasta, vegetables, grapes, whatever. And then usually what I'll do, I'll fill that one up, and then just put a bit of apple cider vinegar on. And then you don't need to buy organic, because the apple cider vinegar has been proven in scientific studies that it will remove the pesticides and things like that from the outsides of the fruit and vegetables. So, I barely use the dishwasher. It's just me most of the time. So, bang, use that. They're essential. Like if you're going to make a smoothie or something like that, you don't have to go overboard with your smoothie either. It can have, just maybe a couple of oranges and a banana and as simple as that. But I might take you to this juice bar. It's not really a juice bar, but they've just got the best juice I've ever had at this kiosk down the beach. So I might just take a quick video so you can get some recipe ideas for the smoothie. Paper towels are always a good idea just to keep stuff clean. And what I do to keep these cloths, obviously they're washable so I can reuse them a lot. But also you want to just pump a bit of eucalyptus oil on them so they don't get, stanky, they don't go rank or anything. A mortar and pestle, they're essential because when you're making your cereal or, it's very tough getting your omega-3s and things like that, whereas you can get them from flaxseed and, all that sort of, business. But if you don't break that seed up, you're not going to get the goodness out of that seed. So mortar and pestle, just have a little hook. So if you're doing sort of cooking or something like that, like you can be chopping things or wherever, and just the scraps are going into the bin straight away. You're not fucking around. You're keeping the place clean. Always like to just have a bit of lemon there. Usually I have a water there, but I've run out. Hate having to drink tap water, and yeah, that's for the kids so they can climb up and do their thing. Okay. Here's the fridge. Now, the fridge is pretty bare, but this is essential for maximising, I guess, the fridge and shelf life of the products that you buy. An example would be I'll buy, say, watermelon, and I'll put it straight in there. Have a look at this little cutie. Then... yeah, so you got all your Tupperware, all that sort of business, and they're good for like salads and things like that for the dressing. Then I didn't always have it like this, but I had a girlfriend who just was extremely organised, and it just sort of rubbed off on me, and I just, thought, well, there's no other way to live, you know what you have, you don't waste money buying, 2 or 3 because you look in the back of your cupboard, I realised I didn't have one of those. Just makes it easier. So I've got all those jars up there. So if you're buying salads or you're making salads to take to work, you can make them in one day, chuck them all in the fridge, put that little dressing tub in there with it, and away you go. You've got your salads done for the week, and they're sealed tight, so you're fine. That's your apple cider vinegar. I buy large ones of those, so it's it's cheaper, and you don't want to be washing it with that sort of stuff. Too expensive. But a big one like that people might see honey there, but it's got no honey in it. Tastes awesome. They're great. Aldi actually labels these vegan, which is good. Just all like the pasta, noodles, and living on a vegan diet can be like living with fucking high functioning autism. So I go to the Asian grocer because they eat a lot of noodles, so they know what's good, what's not, and they're also a lot bigger, right? So you don't have to have 2 or 3. Now, if you look there, you can see all the ingredients, right? I don't look too bloody closely. Like, I'm not in there looking up what flavour enhancer 627 or 631 is, right? But, luckily for me, they are vegan. But you'll see the disclaimer here that, it's made in the same factory and maybe even on the same machines that, animal products have been used on. But I don't care about that. What is important there for probably parents with kids, if they've got any peanut allergies or nut allergies, they can quickly identify that they may be allergic to that product. The 90-second rice is awesome for the kids. They love rice. Keep your coffee jars and things like that. Not that I just buy those from second-hand shops. I don't really even drink coffee. Powder, heaps of rice in case of an emergency, like those big massive bags. I don't know, there's like 15 kilos of rice there. These have no carbs, so if you're type 2 diabetic but you still want a little bit of substance to your stir-fry noodles, these are made from yams, alright? They've got to keep them in water because they're so fragile, but you just drain that stuff off. And per 100 grams, they've got 20 kilojoules. So it's just like diet noodles, so they're awesome. And they just absorb the flavours of everything that you cooked. You're going to see some products here that aren't vegan because my kids aren't vegan. That's a good little clip. You can do your bags and things like that. Don't get ground cinnamon like you can see on the bottom there. Get Dutch, which is much finer. That's tahini, makes salad rolls taste nice. Honey for the kids, I think I've given it to them once or twice. Nutella, they love that. And my kids live with their mum, so I'm not going to deprive them of some life's great things like Nutella. But peanut butter, Marmite. Now this is important for vegans because this one's got the B12, whereas Vegemite doesn't have B12. And then you got your sugar there, little omega-3 lollies for the kids. Those dried mangoes, like that tastes like lollies, and then Metamucil to keep you regular if you're fasting or you want to just clean yourself out for a couple of days, or your curry flavours, oats, wheat bix, seeds, potatoes, they're gone green. You buy stuff sometimes with the best or intentions, but there's your flax seeds. What do they got there? You've got your omega-3, but your magnesium, potassium, all that sort of rubbish. All your herbs and spices in there. Lollies, they're not vegan. Biscuits, they're not vegan. All your onions, garlic and ginger. For people with kids, especially single parents, you never know if you'll slip over in the shower or something, so teach your kids from a young age, like, how to operate these valves so they can have access to fresh water in case of emergency. The cordials there, you've even got those life straws there, so if there's an extreme emergency and they've cut off the water supply, you've run out of water, you can go to a puddle or a creek or something like that, and you're not going to get any you're not going to get sick because it's going to filter out any bacteria. Lemon lime bitter is my favourite drink if I have something like that. Heaps of sultanas for the kids, wasabi covered peas. They're great, like sort of high protein snack. Les Snacks, which is a cheese dip for the kids. They've been sitting there for a long time, but I'm not going to throw them out. I'll feed them to the kids. Rice crackers, walnuts for, once again, omega-3s and things like that. Then you got your almond milk and then all your waters. Okay. Then you'll see down here, like a bit of a doomsday prep, but it's best to have the food and not need it. And what you do is just cycle through this stuff. Now, even like for like a doomsday situation, and if you look at that minestrone soup there on the left, after I've brought that, I've realised that it's actually not vegan. The one on the right that's from Aldi. It actually got a little vegan sign on it. But you'll see there in the back, I've got some Spam, sardines, all little canned goods. So like if there was an emergency and I had the kids there, you can get a high amount of nutrition and something they might like and eat in an emergency situation. If you had to, like, I'm talking like tidal wave, comet. You just never know. Anyway, you got all your fruits there and things like that. And, that should keep you going. And then, just down the bottom. So hopefully there's a few tips there on, how to keep your life a bit, cheaper and cleaner. And life's just easier when you live like that. And it's just easier to maintain, and it's not hard to keep it like that at all. Right, thanks guys.